ask you today, do you remember a time when you weren't stressed, when you weren't feeling overwhelmed, when you weren't feeling burdened with everyday pressures of modern day life? Well, you see, it's all about being part of the community and living your life to the fullest without feeling burdened and overwhelmed and stressed and just feeling generally like you're drowning in everyday processes. So you see, the modern day woman, modern day life is a process that triggers the fight or flight symptoms or syndrome in many women. Constantly rushing around, constantly having time to do, eating on the run, getting the kids to after school activities, getting to work, getting out the door, getting all of the family done. And so it's all about being able to live life in this fast-paced world without burning out. Because I see so many women that are overburdened, overstressed, and undernourished. And you're going, how can someone be undernourished in the current times when we have got such a plethora of foods around? Well, guess what? You can be undernourished at this time. Might be that you're not eating enough of the right foods. Might be that you're eating on the run. Might be that you're putting everyone else first. I had a young girl in yesterday who, through her lunch break, granted she doesn't have a family, but she's eating through her lunch break and not giving her body that time to digest because she feels like her workload is so intense that she can't take time out for herself to be nourished. Is that how you feel? Imagine a time where we could all sit down and we could all eat lunch in a nice, relaxed setting. There are some countries that do that. They take time out for their lunch breaks to be able to eat and to nourish themselves. Unfortunately, many fast-paced worlds don't do that, especially mums. We tend to put ourselves last and put everyone else first. So now is the time for you to do that because we are becoming a society of overburdened, overstressed, and undernourished women. And that puts a load on our adrenals and our thyroid. And so when you're constantly striving, when you're constantly on the go, you have a myriad of tasks to do, and you're not feeling like you're coping, your body goes into a fight or flight syndrome, which is, think of it, if you were back in tribal times, you were being chased by a tiger, you definitely want to be able to run away. You want your body to mobilize its resources so that you can run away from that tiger and survive. Well, we don't have tigers now in our modern society, but those tasks that you're doing each day and the pressures that you're putting on yourself are creating a response in the body exactly like the tiger chasing you. You're going through your resources, you're increasing your blood sugar levels, your digestive processes get slowed down. It wreaks havoc on the digestion. The immune system becomes unbalanced. Your hormones go out of balance. Become tired, fatigued, irritable, anxious. Your requirements for your nutrition goes through the roof. And we don't feed ourselves enough to substitute for that increased requirement. So what happens then is starting to get some PMT symptoms. Anxiety, moods, depression, period cramps, heaviness, irregular periods, but you also might get some bloating, some wind, constipation or diarrhea. Feel like you're just not hungry. Feel like you can't nourish yourself. And go for those sugar cravings. You start to get the sugar cravings to keep you going through this time. Or you might find that you're susceptible to lots of the colds and flus and the viruses that are around at the moment, that you're more susceptible and you're getting sick more often than not. Or that you're constantly fatigued no matter how much sleep you get. Do you ever feel like any of this? Do you experience any of these symptoms? And what happens during this time is when this happens, the thyroid kicks in and the thyroid says, well, I'm going to keep the metabolism going. I'm going to rev up this metabolism. Let's keep us going to be able to cope with the everyday life. And the thyroid becomes depleted. And when that becomes depleted, we get the anxiety, we get the hair falling out, putting on weight, not knowing why, and not being able to shift the weight. And again, I had someone in yesterday who came to me and she said, normally I can adjust my eating program. I can cut a few foods out and I can exercise a bit more and I drop my weight. But now I can't. It's not working anymore. I'm just putting on constant weight every month. It feels like I just don't stop putting on weight. Is that how you feel? Can you identify with that? Brain fog, hair falling out, nails breaking, sensitivity to the cold. You get cold hands, cold feet, or feel more cold than anyone else around you. Bloating, like I said before, or even waking up in the early mornings, like 3, 4, 5 o'clock, not being able to get rested properly. Low libido. All of these could be symptoms that your thyroid's being impacted because of the lifestyle that you're living, that overwhelmed, overstressed, overburdened, and undernourished. And then what happens? The adrenals start to suffer. So you've been running on those stress chemicals, the cortisol, the adrenaline, getting you through each and every day, conquering each day, but you're running on those stress hormones. And when that happens, the adrenals become tired and overburdened. And you go through a lot more of those key nutrients that I was talking about that we need for our general health. And so when this happens, it leaves you feeling depleted, feeling tired. Might even feel wired or tired, but you're so wired you can't go to sleep. Do you ever experience that second wind at night where you're so tired all the way through the day and then suddenly it comes to the time that you need to go to bed, whether it's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and suddenly you can't sleep? That can also be part of the cortisol rush that you're getting with this. Guess what? All of these symptoms are your body's way of telling you it's not coping, that something's not quite right. So it is about looking at your body and listening to your body rather than being constantly reactive, constantly mind racing, can't sit still, the sugar cravings. So now it's time for you. Now that you've got this information and you can identify that you might be rushing around on the go all the time, overburdened, overstressed, and probably undernourished because you're eating on the run, maybe now it's time to make some changes. But how do you do that? What would it be like if you were able to schedule some time for yourself? Schedule some time where you could sit still and indulge in an activity or a hobby that you love to do. So I always talk to my clients about what is it that one hobby that they'd love to do? Painting, colouring in, listening to music, reading a book, whatever it is that you'd love to do. Now is the time for you to take that time for you to sit still and to make it a priority. Schedule that time for you. Make yourself that priority. And then looking at eating in a relaxed setting. Don't eat on the run. As you're scurrying the kids out of the house to take them to school, or eating through your lunch break, or eating your dinner while you're cleaning up the kitchen and you're doing the laundry and you're mopping the floor. Eat in a relaxed setting. Take that time to nourish you, because if your body thinks that you're on the run, being chased by a tiger, it's not going to digest that food for you. You're going to be left feeling bloated and not getting the nutrients, the key nutrients that you need. So take that time, sit still, give yourself that 10 to 15 to 20, 30 minutes to sit still and to eat the meal that you've got in front of you and to enjoy every morsel of it, every taste, every flavour, every component of it. And think about how much this food is energizing every single cell and how it will create an energized life for you. And when you've got that meal in front of you, making sure that it's got a rainbow of colours. So we're taking time to prepare the meals. Meal planning is always the best way to do that. That's my key, is I do meal planning every week. And with my meals, I always make sure it's got an array of vegetables, an array of colour. So much colour, because all of that colour has specific nutrients in there that is to support your immune system, to support your hormones, to support your energy reactions, to support all of your body, your whole body. So that colour, all of the different rainbow of colours, have that with your meal over a day. It doesn't have to be all in one meal, but have it over a day. That if you were to look at all of the foods you had in a day, that there would be beautiful colours in all of those meals. And get a variety of fresh seasonal fruits and veggies with those meals as well. And then looking at your thyroid and your adrenal health. If you're suffering from any of these symptoms that I've mentioned today, take some time to address your thyroid health and your adrenal health. because supporting those two particular organ systems is very vital for you to be able to feel energized again and to cope with the myriad of tasks that you have to do every day. Without supporting these two organs, it's going to be very hard to live your life to the fullest, to feel energized, to feel alive and happy again. And then taking some time, scheduling some regular time for meditation, for some kind of relaxation activity that is active relaxation. Meditation is always the best way to calm that overactive mind. Because I guarantee you that if you're feeling overwhelmed, overstressed, and overburdened, you're going to have a hard time quietening down your mind. And meditation, whether it be guided or whether it be straight meditation, just sitting and sitting quietly, whatever the meditation form is, it's a great way to help you to calm your mind and silence that inner voice that constantly talks each and every day, driving you constantly. And there's lots of studies around showing that 8 weeks of meditation, and it can be as little as 10 to 15 minutes a day, can have such a significant impact on decreasing depression and anxiety. So why not start today? Schedule 10 minutes. 10 minutes of meditation time just to quieten your mind. Start each day that way. Because it's very important that we work through all of this and that we put this into our everyday programs. And while you might be feeling overwhelmed at the moment, just putting these key little steps into your program will make such a big ripple effect for the rest of your life. So that you can be there for your family, you can be there for your work, you can be there for your friends, but ultimately that you can be there for yourself. So let's end this stress cycle, this perpetual stress cycle that so many women are under. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Teresa Todd, transformational naturopath and biochemist.